All right, hello class. So it didn't work out that I taught this in person because the snow day messed us up, but today is January the 26th, and you guys are watching this on quizzes. So you should have a copy of this paper in front of you. This is angles of elevation, and then if I scroll down, you can see it's angles of depression. I will go through these 8 examples here on the front and the back. Well, your paper, it'll be a front and back. To start with, we'll talk about an angle of elevation. You should have already watched the YouTube video. Does an excellent job describing what and explaining what an angle of elevation is, as well as what an angle of depression. Angle of elevation here, Casey cites the top of an 84-foot tall lighthouse, and we see a little picture up here above. So we can just use this. So if the lighthouse is a total of 84 feet and Casey is 6 feet tall, how far is he standing? This is what we want to know. How far is he standing? For purposes of our triangle, we need to figure out this distance, which is just simply 84 minus 6, or 78. And then the angle of elevation is 58 degrees. That's what goes in there. And we're looking at a tangent situation. So tangent of 58 degrees is equal to 78 over x. When you cross multiply and divide, and I'm not going to do all of that, you ultimately end up with 78 over tangent of 58 degrees, or x is equal to 48.7 feet. That's how far Casey is standing from the lighthouse. Next problem is about a football field and the top of a goal post. So the angle of elevation from the kicker's foot, so I'm just going to draw a foot here, and our kicker in his little helmet, and we know Miss Beck can't draw, but I like to pretend that I can. So draw my little helmet, and the angle of elevation is 17 degrees. So this is 17 degrees here. He is standing 131 feet from the base of the goalpost. So the question is, how tall is this goalpost? Another tangent situation. Tangent of 17 is equal to x over 131. Oh, that one's pretty easy. You just cross multiply. Ultimately, x is equal to 40.1 feet is what that rounds to. All right, next, Leah's mom standing at the bottom of a slide at the playground. If the angle of the elevation from the bottom of the slide to the top is 46 degrees, so let's draw one of those crazy slides that straight down. So the angle of elevation from the bottom to the top, it is 9 feet high. The question is, how long is the slide? So this time we're looking for basically the hypotenuse. We are now dealing with a sine situation. So sine of 46 is equal to 9 over x. When you cross multiply and set, you get the x is equal to 9 divided by sine of 46. or x is equal to 12.5 feet. All right, lastly, dog is standing 5 feet from the base of a tree. So here we have a tree. We have a dog. He's standing here 5 feet. He's looking up at a cat that has climbed 16 feet into the air. So here's our little doggy. And here's our little kitty up in the air. Whoops, little dog needs a head. There we go. Now, the question is, what is that angle of elevation? So this time, we're going to have to do our inverse function. But let's look. We're looking at a tangent situation. So tangent of x is equal to 16 over 5. We need to do tan inverse of 16 over 5. That'll give us the measurement of x. Make sure your calculator is in degree mode, or it will kick back a radians answer, and it's not what you're used to looking at. But you should have the answer 72.6. All right, let's go to talking about angle of depression. So angle of depression, notice we need to use our knowledge about parallel lines and then alternate interior angles. So the lifeguard, this time I'm going to redraw this. The lifeguard is sitting on a platform that is 8 feet above the ground. His angle of depression to the swimmer. So now the angle of depression is straight out. That's 18 degrees. But the thing is keep in mind, these are treated like parallel lines. So that means the alternate interior angle is also 18 degrees. The question is, how far is that swimmer from the lifeguard? So now we're going to deal with a tangent situation. Tangent of 18 is equal to 8 over x. Cross multiply, divide. You're going to get x is equal to 24.6 feet. All right, next, a pilot is in a helicopter, spots a landing pad below. If the angle of depression is 73 degrees, so here's our helicopter, angle of depression is 73 degrees. The horizontal distance to the pad, so there's our vertical distance. Our horizontal distance is 1200. Our angle here is also 73 degrees because of parallel lines, alternate interior. The question is, how high is that helicopter? Using this angle down below, we're going, whenever I say down below, I mean the angle from the ground perspective. We are looking at a tangent situation. So the tangent of 73 is equal to x over 1200, and when you do the cross multiplication, you find out that x is equal to 3,925 feet. Is how high up in the ground, up from the ground, that the helicopter is hovering. All right. Building A is 480 feet tall. So here's building A. And I'm going to represent it with 480. Building B is 654 feet. The angle of depression from B to A is 42 degrees. So keep in mind, straight out and looking down, that is 42. So that means this is 42 degrees. So here's the top of building A. Here's the top of building B. We want to know how far apart they are. So this is what we're looking for. We can find this measurement right here by simply subtracting 654 minus 480, and we end up with the answer 174. So we know that this is 174 feet that we're dealing with. So we are dealing with a tangent of 42 degrees is equal to 174 over x. Ultimately, you're going to find out that x is equal to 193.2. Now, I do encourage you to practice doing the algebra. Don't just copy my answer and then don't think about it again, because you do need to be able to do this for a test. All right, lastly, Zach is standing top of a lookout tower, spots a water fountain below. So here's his lookout tower. It is 75 feet up in the air. He spots a lookout tower fountain. His angle of depression from the top of the tower is 28 degrees. So looking down, this is 28 degrees, which means here on the ground, whoops, that almost looks like 280. Let's see if I can't rewrite that. 28 degrees. The question is, what is the horizontal distance? So this is what we're looking for. That's our x. Looking at a tangent situation, tangent of 28 is equal to 75 over x. Cross multiply and divide, and you end up with x is equal to 1